Veterans Day is a federal holiday in the U.S. and is annually celebrated on November 11th, the anniversary of the end of World War I. It is marked by assemblies, parades, and a day off from work and school. It is held in honor of all those who have served in the United States Armed Forces. Our veterans and our soldiers have given us a legacy of sacrifice, loyalty, and love, and it is because of efficient and inspired leaders that we are able to legally, freely, and nationally honor those sacrifices today. Since the founding of our country 240 years ago, we have enjoyed much peace and prosperity. However, what most people do not realize is that freedom doesn't come free. Someone paid for that peace. And who paid for it? Our soldiers. For those 240 years, they have protected us and our country from all manner of strife and conflict. And they are now, today, our veterans. Theirs is a legacy of sacrifice for others. They put everything on the line for their country every day of their service, not knowing if they would ever see another day, much less their family. And they do it for us. Statistics from the Department of Veterans Affairs show that we have 21,973,000 veterans from various wars such as the Vietnam War, the Gulf War, and the Korean War. Each of them has sacrificed personally for each one of us. According to American War Operations Casualties Lists and Statistics, our veterans have served in 9 major conflicts since our country was founded. During that time, 999,592 gave their life and 1,427,631 were wounded, serving their country. Those who did not die were usually wounded and spent several months or even years going through vigorous training and being away from friends and family. According to the journals of veteran Robert Lindsay McKay, soldiers endured all manner of hardship, including sickness, grueling exercise, homesickness, and the wounds and horrors of the battlefield. It is important to appreciate and honor these efforts because of the impact it has on us. If those men and women had not sacrificed for their country, then our country could have very well been overrun. And it is because they fight our battles for us that we can freely enjoy a life of liberty. Therefore, 'tis of the utmost importance that we show a measure of gratitude for those who have done so much for our sakes, for the legacy of sacrifice they have given us. Today we can legally, freely, and nationally honor their legacy because of inspired and efficient leadership. The evidence of this is in the world around us. Every year we celebrate Veterans Day with parades and speeches. In Section 5 of the U.S. Code, it states Veterans Day is a U.S. holiday. How would these things happen if not for a leader? After World War I, Armistice Day was celebrated nationally in honor of the armistice, or setting down of arms, that ended World War I. Many people believe that World War I was the war to end all wars. Armistice Day celebrated all of those who fought in this historic war that would end all wars. However, there was to be more conflict. A few years later, World War II broke out, and then the Korean and Vietnam Wars happened, adding millions more veterans to those who had already served for the U.S. In 1945, Raymond Weeks, a World War II veteran having experienced the battlefield firsthand, wanted to expand Armistice Day to celebrate all former soldiers, not just those from World War I. He was inspired. He knew that all soldiers have served our country and deserve equal respect, and he had the urge to act on this knowledge. He was efficient because he had and used the skills needed. He knew what to do and how to do it. 1947, he organized and held the first Veterans Day parade in his hometown of Birmingham, Alabama, and held one annually till his death. Weeks also wrote and got signatures for a petition to change Armistice Day. He brought it to General Dwight D. Eisenhower, who agreed and advocated it. However, even though he was a U.S. general at the time, it was not within Eisenhower's power to legalize the petition. 8 years later, Alvin J. King, whose nephew died in the Korean War, was of a similar mind and approach. He held Veterans Day celebrations in Emporium, Kansas. He gave the idea of National Veterans Day to Edward Reese, his U.S. representative. He's presented through Congress a federal bill, H.R. 7786, to expand Armistice Day to honor all who served. Dwight D. Eisenhower, then president, signed it into law in 1954 and issued a presidential order to create a Veterans Day National Committee to organize and oversee Veterans Day observance. Congress amended H.R. 7786 on June 1, 1954 to replace Armistice with Veterans. Since then, we have been celebrating Veterans Day. It is because of these leaders, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Edward Reese, Alvin King, and Raymond Weeks, who were inspired and were organized and skillful enough to act on that inspiration, that we can today honor the legacy of the millions that gave their lives and those 21 million veterans still alive today that sacrificed everything for us, the U.S.